and let us all do we can to build a better future.
So we have a temporary ceasefire happening in Israel, and Netanyahu's re-election chances just continue to plummet the second that happened. So the ceasefire began on Friday, bringing to an end 11 days of fighting in which more than 250 people were killed, most of them in Gaza. Both Israel and Hamas claimed victory in the conflict. The truce faced an early test on Friday when fresh clashes broke out at the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound in occupied East Jerusalem. Israeli spokesperson Mickey Rosenfield told AFP news agency that Palestinians had thrown stones at officers and that riot-suppressing measures have been taken in response. We've heard those stories in America, so we sort of get that. Anyway, the fighting between Israel and Palestinian militants in Gaza began on the 10th of May after weeks of rising Israeli-Palestinian tensions in East Jerusalem that culminated in clashes at the mosque, a holy site revered by both Muslims and Jews. Hamas began firing rockets after warning Israel to withdraw from the site, triggering retaliatory strikes. At least 243 people, including more than 100 women and children, were killed in Gaza. Remember, 250 people were killed. At least 243 were killed in Gaza. I wonder if Israel took a bunch of casualties. Anyway, and were killed in Gaza, according to Health Ministry. Israel said it killed at least 225 militants during the fighting. By the way, I want to clarify something. This is also true in the U.S. Army as well. If you're someone, 18 to 65, you're just considered a combatant. So when they say they killed 225 militants, that really just means we also killed 225 people that were male aged between 18 and 65. Doesn't mean anything else. It just means that. Hamas has not given casualty figures for fighters. In Israel, 12 people, including 2 children, were killed, its medical service says. So there you go. The continued apartheid state of Israel is doing what it did, and it has a KD ratio that someone in Call of Duty would be proud of. In what I think I wouldn't maybe call a war, but apparently people are calling this conflict or whatever it is. But I don't know. It seems like Israel messes with one of the most holy sites on the planet for Muslims as it's expanding into territory that's not theirs. Hamas throws up rockets. Israel has defenses, thanks to American funding, that negate most of those rockets that are unguided. Just maybe it goes over here. And in response, they kill a huge amount of people and just say that we succeeded because we killed a lot of males that may or may not have had guns. They also destroyed infrastructure that Palestine can't really rebuild because they're not even allowed to import concrete. So let's see. They destroyed a news headquarters, which apparently was full of people of Hamas that the press never saw. They destroyed a hospital that apparently So this was a ceasefire in a conflict that just killed a huge amount of people that were civilians, almost entirely.
Yeah.
Not on the Israeli side.
Also, again, because there's been more reports coming out right now, it's also being shared on social media that there are some skirmishes happening.
Well, we expect that.
I mean, that it's to be expected.
It's a ceasefire, not the end.
Yeah, and so the whole thing, even calling it a ceasefire, it's a bit of an understatement because I could see things intensifying within either now or when the 11 days are up, because that's the 11-day ceasefire right now. So anything is probably going to happen to reignite it. So
and again, Israel has Netanyahu specifically has every incentive to end the ceasefire because, again, in my estimation, this entire thing happened because he was about to, lose.
Yeah. He's losing everything. If anything, this kind of reminds me of the movie Wag the Dog. So, but the sad fact is, in the movie, it's a fictional story about a president who's in a scandal and has the media create a fake news war story.
Yeah.
And the thing is, what's the difference between here is that there are real people being hurt, real people being removed from their homes, And at the end of the day, it's because of a
We
corrupt
haven't
politician.
changed
Wait,
anything.
it's because of a corrupt politician trying to distract people from his own corruption.
Yeah, again, nothing changes. There's going to be violence again, either within the ceasefire, shortly after, or a while after.
Yeah.
But nothing gets stopped. Israel's going to keep expanding.
Yeah, and I'm also seeing people mention in the chat, "Wag the Dog" is a good movie. Maybe I might have to do a movie review on the Rockfin, a special little Rockfin recording for you guys.
And another thing to mention in this is that, the only thing that I think actually fundamentally changed in this entire massacre is the U.S. media and world media is a little more even-handed covering this.
And that's
it.
yeah, we're being generous with that because usually corporate media is always.
But that's what I
wrong
just
when
said,
we should-
yeah.
So
Yeah.
there we go.